What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy Jason, and I'm back with another reaction. Today, we're going to react to First Take, talking about the Ravens versus the Buccaneers. Based on the title, they're probably going to try to slant it to the Bucs. I'm going to slant it back to the Ravens because that's what we do here. So, before we get in, please remember to subscribe, like, do all that great stuff. And we're going to get into it. So, let's do it.
Real bad.
Okay,
real
right.
bad. Listen, so when you're hearing Tom Brady, he's talking about the urgency, and that's an offensive issue, right? Like, they got to fix this thing up. They have the worst interior line right now in the league. Pass rush win rate, and run the football. They're the league low, so they're bad there. But let's flip this thing over and go to the defense, where they got fully exposed against P.J. Walker and the Panthers, who got rid of Robbie Anderson, got rid of Christian McCaffrey.
So before he goes over, he's about to talk about again the defense. But I want to talk about the offense, right? Tom Brady is on the other side going against us. And again, guys, this is a matchup league. And this game is actually a really good matchup for us, right? Similar to the Bengals game, right? Where our weakest part of our team is the pass rush. The Buccaneers can't pass protect. That's perfect for us. So hopefully we have a big game from a pass rush perspective. Also, again, we're really, really good at stopping the run. The Buccaneers can't run the ball. Basically, there's going to be like, hey, Tom Brady and Mike Evans, can you beat us? Now, in the past, receivers have been able to beat us, but I think what we showed against Jamar Chase is that there's going to be more than one, right? The Dolphins had two really good receivers. It's going to have to be more than one if you really want to, silence us. And so hopefully that's the case. Again, another example is the Bills. They have a bevy of good receivers, right? So one receiver isn't going to get the job done. And so hopefully that's a great matchup for our defense, and our defensive players and our stars shine. So that's what I'm hoping for. He's going to get into the offense. So for the Bucs, the defense for the Bucs, the offense for us. So we'll see what he says.
And basically with Foreman and Hubbard ran roughshod, and Walker dropping dimes to DJ Moore. Now you get a short week, which means you're not going to be in any pads. You're basically going to have 3 walkthroughs before you go play. You're going to go play the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson. And this dude, their offense and the complication of their offense is significantly greater than what the Carolina Panthers do. The Carolina Panthers were simple and they bludgeoned you. Now you have a team that can literally do a number of different things, a multitude of ways of giving you problems. There was no discipline on this defensive football team last Sunday. And I'm just letting you know that the score is not...
So we got to, guys, we got to be honest here. That's not, it's half true. Yes, we do have multiple ways. We have a complicated run scheme, but is it the best run scheme in the league? No. And we've had a couple of good back-to-back running games, right? Gus came in and did his thing. Shout out to Gus, right? Before that, Kenyon Drake had a really big game. Justice Hill had a big game before. But let's not forget that for most of our season, Lamar Jackson has been the one putting the team on his back and getting the rush yards, getting done. Gus Edwards changes that because he is that punch that you really need in a heavy run game. Again, some of the best running backs in the league fall forward, right? And Gus Edwards has that ability to, when he gets tackled, to fall forward. If you watch the game, he was taking runs that are -2 yards in the backfield and making them a 0-yard gain, right? When we have other players in, like, again, Kenyon Drake, if he gets stopped in the backfield, we lose him 3 yards. And so this is something that will help us, but let's not pretend like we have been killing the game from schemed running back runs, and that is what beat the Bucs last week. We've been killing the running game based on Lamar Jackson, and hopefully that continues. But again, we got to be honest with what has been happening these past couple of weeks.
Indicative of how bad the Panthers really put it on this Buccaneers team. They should have never scored 3 points because they just kicked a field goal, basically conceding the game, which I didn't like anyway. But when you have a short week and you have a complicated, it's kind of like when you were in college and you played all, like, regular type football teams, and then you line up, you got to go play Army, who's a triple option. You ain't seen triple option since high school or back in Pee Wee League. All of a sudden, you got to figure this thing out. That's what the Bucs and Todd Bowles got to do. They got to figure out the most complicated run scheme in the NFL in 3 short days after you got boat raced. This is a problem. I'm letting you know, for positions inside, this is a problem. What gaps are responsible for? Whose job is it? All of those things become magnified, and the short week is not helping a team that is reeling on both sides of the ball, which I never thought a Todd Bowles defense would look as undisciplined as they have. They didn't close.
So a couple of things he said before he goes on. It's weird that you would say that about Todd Bowles' defense, because Todd Bowles' defense was in New York, and they got boat raced a lot. So that's weird to say that. Again, yes, our offense is hard to scheme for, but it's been a couple of years, right? Greg Roman's not a new offensive coordinator. There's plenty of tape on Greg Roman. There's experience going against Lamar Jackson. There's experience going against the team. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that it's going to be too hard to get this. Not like Army and college programs never face that. Some college programs never ever face an offense like that ever. And so, again, if you play in the league long enough, you'll play a team that does similar concepts to what we do. They just don't have Lamar Jackson. So.
Pittsburgh with Trubisky throwing for 2 third downs and converting at the end of a game. Come on,
144 yards in the fourth quarter.
Like at some point, you got to hang your hat on something. This defense was supposed to be the peg that they were hanging on. It has not produced, and it is bad, bro. I'm letting you know. This is. They better line it up, man. It's serious.
Jeff, I'm shocked at you today, man. You're missing the mark a lot now.
Oh,
come on, gosh. It's a short week, but it's a mental week. They don't need to. You and I, they haven't been in pads. Last time they was in full pads in the league is when me and you played during the week. They don't practice in pads. It's all mental. They got to understand
And so this is something I want to mention again, and we saw it. This is really highlights the importance of Gus Edwards. Is that we used to have an advantage where we were so physical, especially at the point of attack, that it was hard for teams to practice our style of play, right? The best example of this in the league, and for the last couple of years, is Derrick Henry, right? When you don't tackle at large points of a time, right? So if you haven't tackled since week 3, right, and it's week 8, when Derrick Henry comes to town, how do you simulate tackling him and not hurting your own teammates, right? Because you can't half-heartedly tackle him, right? We saw what he did to Earl Thomas in that playoff game, right? You can't go in soft, right? So he has that advantage that you really can't practice tackling Derrick Henry, right? There's just nothing like him. We have that advantage for a player like Lamar, where you just don't have a player who can stop on a dime like Lamar can, right? So that's just hard to practice against. But we used to have that physicality, and now Gus is bringing it back. But we used to be able to kill people off that line of scrimmage, and it's hard for them to practice that physicality. But again, now that we have some, more shifty backs taking more of the load, we just don't have that advantage like we used to. So
they got to understand their responsibilities. They got to understand gap responsibility. They got to understand all of those things on the defensive side of the ball. It's a mental rep. Plus, on top of that, this team is a little bit older. This isn't the team from 2 years ago. Okay? Right. These guys are older. They need the rest. They don't need to be out there running around on a short week. If you look at it, they've already self-scouted in terms of a week ago on the advanced scouting for the Baltimore Ravens. That's already put together several days ago. So they don't have to game plan, so to speak. That game plan was already put into place. The way that I look at it is they just need to get the mental reps and stay fresh for the game on Thursday night. Not worry about what happened against Pittsburgh. Not worry about what happened against Carolina. If they can figure out how to correct some of those things, especially Todd Bowles at the head coaching position, because it's very difficult to be the defensive coordinator, as we're seeing in New Orleans, and the head coach. We're seeing it with Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay, to be able to have all of those responsibilities. He needs to focus in on one or the other. Either I'm going to be the defensive coordinator for this particular game, or I'm going to be the head coach for this particular game. He can't do both.
You make my argument. You make my exact.
Again, you can't do both in a detailed way and win Super Bowls, I don't think. But, Belichick has a big hand in the defense. Andy Reid has a big hand in the offense. So, I just think they got to figure it out. That's it.
Exactly. And right now he's trying to do both on the most complicated
Hopefully it's not this
system that
week.
he gonna face. And a team that can bludgeon you much more than the Panthers. The Panthers were simple, just right down your throat. Listen, this to me, this is typical wide receiver behavior out of you, Keyshawn.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
No, that was super interesting. Again, I tried to sway it to the Ravens. I'm excited for the game. This is a game we got to win. We got to get some of these wins to link together. So it's important for us to do that. And then if we do that, hopefully, down the line, we get 3-4 wins in a row. Now we in firm control of the AFC North. So, and right now, because we only have a half game up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about this. What do you think they said? How do you feel about the game coming up? Put it down in the comments section below. Thanks,